What's up, guys, and welcome back to the GGuard challenge. This time, GGuard are going to be going up against 5EVA in a best of 3. Winner, should it be 5EVA, gets $500. If it's GGuard, they get a pat on the back, they get nothing. So it's 5EVA playing for money and GGuard playing for pride. I'm Mikelrus, going to be one of your casters today. Alongside, I have Heflamoke. How are you doing today?
Absolutely fine. I'm super happy. UPS guy just arrived. I threw him out of my house because I said I have to cast. He has no idea what I'm talking about, but well, he finally left. $500 on the line. GGuard is, by the way, for those who don't know, GGuard is actually a sponsor. I mean, they picked up the team, and GGuard is the name of the sponsor who makes this all possible. We had last year already such a challenge, the Mushi challenge. For all those who remember, right after the TI, which was a huge success. Like, the games were seen by about 30,000, 40,000 people at times. And now GGuard, they pick up the same format. I like it because the games are short, fast, best of 3. You get one series, $500. It's a pretty much nice money, game, effort ratio. So let's go for it.
Yeah, it's a no bullshit kind of format where it's just like, you win, you get money, and it can't really get much simpler than that. So
Exactly.
yeah, we'll see. And $500, that's quite a bit of money, especially in these C countries where, you know, 500 USD is whatever ratio, I don't even know. But you know, we got a draft going on right now, so let's see what we got in the pool. Of course, Sniper Patrol rather is going to be taken out. Bristleback, Batrider, a couple of offlane heroes hated out. And then we have 5EVA opening with the Clockwork Ancient Apparition. That's a very weird way to open.
Yep, it's actually pretty interesting to see this. I mean, Clockwork Ancient Apparition, there is some sort of synergy in there. Obviously, when you cock someone, it's an easier target for Ancient Apparition to aim in. We have to see this Ancient Apparition will be a full support, or maybe a 4th position, which I like more because the Aghanim Scepter on an Ancient Apparition is still strong. If you look back now, the last month or two, maybe even a bit further, Ancient Apparition is not that popular anymore for a pretty interesting reason, because I don't know the reason, so it must be interesting.
Well, mostly because why would you pick up an Ancient Apparition if you could pick up a Lion, if you could pick up a Witch Doctor or Vengeful Spirit? Like, the lack of hard crowd control, I think, is really what's holding Ancient Apparition back, and those Cold Feet can potentially be good. The fact that it is only a potential stun and not a real stun is really what's holding him back. He's really good to pick up against, you know, when you're going up against a team with a whole bunch of healers, and you could actually get some value with an Ice Blast, like if you're up against a Slark or something like that, then he's amazing. But other than that, he's kind of mediocre, and he does really need that 4-position gold, as you said, with that Aghanim Scepter, to really be impressive or decent at all in the mid to late game.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it really comes down to the ultimate. Everything else is well, not the best thing. We saw some Ancient Apparitions in the past being, I don't know, paired with a lot of magic heavy heroes for obvious reasons, but yeah, you're right. The ultimate is the big boom, but if it's not coming, then yeah, there's a big problem. On the other side, we have pretty much everything along the mid. Axe being picked up, that might be our offlaner, very likely so. The Witch Doctor, something, yeah, I don't know, alongside Lion and Lina in support roles at the moment, one of the best combinations of damage plus CC. You can't have it any better. A stun amplification with Maledict and obviously the Death Ward, and a good place Death Ward after no interrupts are left is just insane.
And right now for 5EVA, Clockwork is the only one who's actually capable of disrupting that, and in order to disrupt it, he'll be forced to walk through it or just not be in the start of the fight in the first place.
Cold Feet.
What was that?
Cold Feet, in theory.
Yeah, so you get to sit in the Death Ward for a whole bunch of time until you actually get that stun off. But yeah, I mean, Clockwork's the only real way. They have this to cancel the Witch Doctor Ultimate. Another mark against Ancient Apparition, by the way. But with Lion being banned out, 5EVA will still have no easy chance to do that, and GGuard grab themselves a Lina, most likely for the mid lane. They have so much setup already for the Lina, and they have a lot of setup for the Witch Doctor Ultimate as well. So 5EVA, they're more on the run and gun type of strategy. They are probably going to look to avoid huge skirmishes, at least once GGuard get their Blink Daggers up.
Yeah, Queen of Pain, yesterday we had the honor with the good old lady, the dominatrix of Dota. Hook was playing it for BBC, and he owned his mid with it, like the typical Aghanim build, and then maybe even going into right clicks the later the game goes. I definitely like it, but you're absolutely right. At the moment, GGuard is picking like those heavy CC heroes. We have an X-Call into like Strike Array, into some bouncing skulls that even lock you down further, or the other way around, Witch Dog opening or Lina opening the other way around. So if you really channel this properly, you have, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds on a single target disable, even more. I don't even want to talk about the burst damage or potential targets that are actually getting maledicted, and then spins are coming in, the Lina, the Dragon Slave, or maybe even Laguna Plate. This is, well, it's really bad. But looking on the other side right now, we have a Rubik. So potentially some of these nice spells could be stolen.
Yeah, Lina has pretty premium skills. However, Witch Doctor Axe, their skills are a little bit weaker. You don't want to use Berserker's Call as a Rubik. It may seem like a good idea, but trust me guys, it's really not. I think this hero for 5 Eva is, I mean, it's really good with what they have. It's just not really good against what GGuard have. Having a stun is always nice, especially when it's just a point-click stun. And Rubik typically does very well when partnered with Ancient Apparition and Clockwork both. So in that regard, Rubik works very well with what the other heroes of 5 Eva can do, but really only Lina is the person you want to steal spells from. Everything else is kind of mediocre.
Yeah, sort of. Well, we have to see. Right now I'm looking more towards the core of GGuard, because if that's a core Lina, then we're gonna see her in mid. That leaves us for one agility hero in the safe lane, but that could be pretty much everything. Since these are C teams, Naga might be still an option, but then again, who picks Naga these days? Like, there are not many people, and if you pick a Naga, then, I don't know, then you have to build an entire team around it.
You had to say something, dude. Now Miracle's gonna pick up a Naga, and we're gonna have like a 75-minute Naga Siren game. God,
the chat picked it up. I had to say it.
There's a little bit more of a fast-paced, a little bit more exciting agility hero, one that I would prefer to watch, even though he's freaking everywhere all the time. It's a Juggernaut for GGuard, and already with the amount of lockdown that GGuard have, this Juggernaut is gonna have a lot of raw time just to go to town, but yeah, also he'll have so many ways of escaping because everyone will be covering his ass. 5 Eva, they have still not the greatest ways to deal with the Juggernaut. It's okay, like, now Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast gets a little bit better because you cancel out a healing ward, but this Juggernaut is probably the safest pick that GGuard could have made.
Yeah, and it's also the only one left out of these heavy picked agility heroes right now. The Sniper is banned, the Troll is banned, the Shadow Fiend is banned. That leaves only the Juggernaut of like those really popular heroes. Everything else really declined in their pick rate. If you think about heroes like, I know Luna is only played a tiny bit by Empire. We have Spectre, just, I know, every blue moon being picked up. We talked about Naga Siren, that's very regional. Just the C scene likes the Naga, everything else or every other scene ignores it because it's just too heavy to build, and the games are pretty fast paced at the moment. There is not much else to go for, so Juggernaut is the logical consequence. I mean, now they ban out the PL. That's also one of those heroes that got a tiny bit more popular after the patch, but then again, I saw a lot of PLs fail as of late. But then again, if they're successful, which also comes down to like how you use your doppelganger, for example, then they were quite good. So I'm not really sure what I have to think about the PL in the current meta.
Man, you must have been watching different games than I have, because I've seen a lot of good PL games, or at least games where the PL has done very well. There are specific team comps, such as what GGuard are backing, that would make PL's life very difficult, but if you find yourself with a lack of AoE, then you have to build awkwardly into Mjolnirs, or Maelstroms and Mjolnirs, and Battle Furies onto heroes that wouldn't ordinarily get it, but he's going to be banned out. Medusa, still a possibility. It's one of the, I guess, lighter weight early game agility heroes, but an absolute truck in the late game, and 5 Eva are pretty well positioned already to go for one of those late game heroes. I would not be surprised at all to see them grab the Medusa or that Spectre, or really any of those super hard carry late game agility heroes for 5 Eva, because GGuard, though they do have pretty dangerous heroes, the Juggernaut's super late game isn't quite as dangerous as Medusa's super late game.
And I'm really afraid we might see a Naga. I'm pretty sure Miracle is begging right now. Come on, guys.
Stop saying it, no.
Please, let me play it. I want to see the Miracle Naga. Because, I mean, look what's banned out at the moment. There are not too many options. What are alternatives right now? You said Medusa already for once. That's, yeah, I guess an option they could go for. But it's a Tinker. Now it gets really interesting.
Yeah, so the peak of 5 Eva is not as high as I thought it would be. Tinker late game is really good, but it's really a different kind of late game than the Juggernaut or than hell even the Lina, who nowadays they typically do build into some pretty heavy damage. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting pick from 5 Eva. They're gonna have to play pretty aggressively unless this Tinker is just gonna go off, but I think he's gonna have a hard time doing so because GGuard have so many easy ways of initiating. Just Eul Scepter, Blink Call, long range Cask. Tinker's not gonna have an easy time.
Yeah, I mean, now the Ancient Apparition makes a bit more sense, but I would have rather seen an ET or something like that, because for obvious reasons, we already said it. Then again, Ancient Apparition, well, we have the nice global range, the Tinker being fast on it, but I don't know how mobile he's also going to be in this game. We don't have a Beastmaster where they can play around, or any other units. This is, I don't know, quite intense. At least the Ice Vortex is going to help the Tinker, as well as the Queen of Pain with the magic damage. There is the reduction, so I think we're going to see a relatively early Ice Vortex build, and just 1 point in Cold Feet, the rest in Chilling Touch and Ice Vortex. Well, the Rubik, I can just hope he steals some nice spells, but look at all this magic damage, and now look at the last pick of GGuard. That totally makes sense.
Yeah, they're going to shift Lina over to more of a supporty role, I would expect, unless they're going to run a Jungle Axe, which is possible, though unlikely. Viper, heavily resistant in that magic damage that you were just describing, 5 Eva, pretty much have exclusively, so if you could have a hero that could eat all of those shots and still come out on the other end swinging, and then you're going to be happy, especially when you have Juggernaut heal and Witch Doctor heal to kind of buff up that initially high magic resistance. So this is a pretty smart pick from GGuard, shifting over their Lina, and that's, I guess, really the power of the Lina. If it doesn't look good for a core, don't put her as a core anymore, just shift her over as a support and you're going to be happy.
Yep. Definitely, and now we have to see how the laning is, because right now Queen of Pain against the Viper is a bad thing, because you just can't go spam your first ability there. That's just, I don't know, it's not in your favor for sure. You just don't want to do this against the Viper. Corrosive Skin will just own you, so putting the Tinker in the mid is pretty much the same story, because if he goes for March of the Machines, he also just applies and reapplies the Corrosive Skin forever. So I think the Viper is, I think there was not a better pick.
Yeah, and like the Tinkers nowadays, because you can't easily clear out Ancients with March of Machines, will even go a little bit more into the aggressive build. But even then, if there's a Viper there, like Viper's not going to lose his lane, at least not by that much, to a Tinker. And Tinker will then need a lot of stacks in his jungle in order to effectively get up those travels. I could very easily see this Tinker not getting that much of anything and having a pretty low impact game, just because, well, he's up against the bad lane initially if he does go mid, and that bad lane is going to be amplified by the fact that Witch Doctor and Lina are going to be on the hunt pretty much 24/7, and Tinker is not really resistant to that type of play.
Yep, and I'm just wondering what's happening with the connection. Finally, everybody of 5 Eva arrived, but we have one DC on the other side that is, yeah, 10 is disconnected. No reason given whatsoever at this point, but let's just go for the introduction, so we have this, we are over with this.
Alright, so I'll leave the disconnected people to you, since that seems like more fun. It's going to be Chibix for the 5 Eva side. He's going to be playing the Ancient Apparition. Miracle is on the Queen of Pain with Ysera on the clock. We got Polosan on the Rubik, and this is KS on the Tinker, but I guess Mask will do as well.
Yep, and on the other side we have Ben playing the Viper. Winter, yes, he's not casting, he is actually playing. For those people in the chat, they always love it. There's like, Winter, go home, go back to casting, you're a noob. But so far, guys, the track record of GGuard is not bad. In this challenge, they won against Arcanus 2-0, they won against CSW with 2-0, and the only time they actually gave the $500 away was against MVP Hot 6. But I have to say, those games were all three so close that it could have been definitely also in favor for GGuard. There are some more to go. 5 Eva, Signature, and Mineski are going against GGuard, but let's just focus on this game for now. But at least you guys know now what more games are coming. Yamate is going to play that Juggernaut, and we have Ling and Tin, who haven't picked their heroes yet. And we had, what did we have on that side?
Oh, short-term memory test. I know, do you know?
I get it together in just a second when I think.
Yeah, you have no freaking clue, dude.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anywhere you can tab out to check. It's gonna be well, I mean they're both the support, so it's like Lina Witch Doctor for one of them, and then
Yeah.
the other one
Right.
for the other. So it's probably not gonna make too much of a difference. But
I
yeah,
knew Witch
GGuard.
Dog,
What was that?
but I knew Witch Dog, but
Uh
I
huh.
forgot about the
I believe
Lina.
you.
Ah, shut up.
I really do. But for GGuard, like I even heard that their games versus MVP, I wasn't casting that, but I heard that they were really tilting out. Like the games were, they started out decently, but then they just crashed and burned with like
Yeah,
silly plays or something.
the games were pretty crazy. I watched them mostly the end of the games when it came to late game, and I don't know, the fights were forth and back, and I know, I don't know, I have to watch the VODs exactly for how much swap there was. That were the crafts that were really going down 10k to one side, 10k to the other side, forth and back. But either way, they finally picked the hero's internet connection, hopefully fixed. Ling is gonna be on the Witch Dog, and we have the Lina played by 10, and that's pretty much it. So now we're gonna just check the laning, because I am really curious, 5 ever, who's going mid. It looks like the Tinker is going against the Viper.
Unless KS decides to go down towards the bottom lane. It's not too late to put Miracle there, although Miracle is going for what looks more like a safe lane build, whereas for Tinker he's going for what looks more like a mid lane build. So for GGuard, the lanes, I don't think there was going to be much flexibility here. I guess they do have potential for aggressive tri-lane if they really wanted to, but they're just going to run it defensively and just be happy with that. This Clockwork is probably not going to be in for a great time, but yeah, it is just going to be a defensive tri-lane Queen of Pain, just trying to get her farm up, hopefully for, you know, fast kill item, or an Aghanim Scepter, or really anything for Miracle. And then they're just going to throw the Clockwork to the Wolves, put the Tinker in the mid lane. These lanes, I gotta say, almost completely across the board, GGuard should be completely okay with. Well, maybe Winter not as much, but he could always jungle.
Yep, and well, at least they found one ward already. That's bad news for the Axe, because he has no idea what's coming there. And to be honest, I like the combination. If you think about it, we have the lift duration, and that's, well, about 2 seconds in summary where you don't move, and then if you actually come with cold feet, that might be interesting. You also have to slow, obviously, by the Shadow Strike, so I think the Axe might be killable on this tri-lane, so you gotta be really careful. Then again, if the Axe goes full YOLO with a creep wave, then you also gotta be careful, because, I don't know, give it 3 spins and an Ancient Apparition will be dead. So we have to see how this tri-lane folds out. About Ysera, I'm not really sure how well he will do against this Juggernaut, because the Juggernaut in the cogs, that's bad news, because he will just Blade Fury. We have to see how aggressive Ling plays this one, or if he just keeps on pulling and the Clockwork actually finds some XP.
Yeah, I mean, the threat here is that just with the Juggernaut +1, whether it's the Lina or the Witch Doctor, that's already a very dangerous case for the Clockwork. A spin after a single stun, and he's probably going to survive that, but not really be healthy afterwards. And should net rotate in as the Lina from his current stacking, then another stun to follow that up, and it's, yeah, just bad times. Ling is going to get the D-Ward out. This camp is usually going to be pretty easily D-Ward if you just put the ward there, guys. So they will take that out, and both sides, or both off lanes now, are working blind. This is probably going to be a rather passive laning stage, I want to say. Like Winter even going for Battle Hunger just to put a little bit of harassment on, but it's not exactly going to be a happy axe. He needs to get level 2, and then I think he needs to leave to the jungle.
Yep, at some point he definitely has to leave. We have to see if that comes directly after this pull. At the moment he goes for a normal pull just to get those creeps under the tower. I actually thought maybe starting with a double pull would have been better, but for now Ancient Apparition is happy about everything. Winter already leaving for the jungle, it seems. He knows the pull is going on, he knows he's blind, so this jungle call comes actually earlier than we expected it, or at least I expected it.
Yeah, I mean, usually you want to be in the lane till level 3, level 4 ideally, unless you're just constantly dying, in which case, screw that lane, just go somewhere else and stop dying. But he already has a couple of stacks to work with. Centaur's pretty unhappy times there. You'll get another one going. But these are pretty hard creeps to kill off, like even the Alpha Wolf. Usually not the easiest. I mean, he will do a lot of damage to you, but when he's in a giant stack, it'll be hurting even more. So Winter's jungling is going to be perhaps a little bit rough right now, but it's much better than his alternative. Over towards the mid lane, the Tinker and the Viper are going to be going toe-to-toe. Viper, not surprisingly, with a slight lead right now that you should really expect to increase. Even with 2 points in the laser, Tinker, that's pretty much just a primarily defensive tool, and a tool that actually lets him last hit comfortably.
Yep, I wonder what kind of build this Tinker is gonna go for, since he's going against the Viper. He didn't pick up like early March of the Machines. It's going 2 points in the laser and saving even some more talent points right now, where we have to see how they come out. I personally, this is just me, my 4K MMR bubble, pretty much. I love the combat Tinker with rocket and laser, but yeah, the 2 points are now in March of the Machines, so there's my answer pretty much.
Yeah, and this is it is actually possible for KS to go for this build, or at least not terrible for him to go for this build, because the bottom lane is completely devoid of heroes. I guess, well, Net now will arrive, but because they don't need the Ancient Apparition to actually, pressure and go for kills, he can freely stack up the jungle. And the March of the Machines Tinker build, because he can't clear out Ancients, really needs to clear out giant stacks of creeps, and, well, that's what they get set up for in the jungle. So yeah, the Ancient Apparition and the fact that the bottom lane should be more or less empty is going to let KS get away with this build. And he's going to have, of course, a couple rough times, because Corrosive Skin is very, very annoying to deal with when you're trying to march. But Viper at the same time is going to be slightly pressured back until he just decides to go in for the kill. KS is going to be under so much harassment. At least he has his bottle working right now. It's flying back and forth.
Yep, and talking about stacks, by the way, look at Winter. Like, he really goes greedy with this. He's going, this is, I think, a triple stack already. Yes, this is a Satire, there's a Dark Troll Summoner, and a Wild Ring Ripper, and he's going for number 4. The Clockwork, however, spotted this out. If it wasn't about the Viper being so tanky and, like, really nice against him, then the Tinker could actually hijack that camp, but it's way too early. Tinker can't really go for it. But look at the Rocket. The Rocket actually... I think the Rocket actually got something there.
Okay, so a little bit of gold out of the pockets of Winter. At least for Winter, all the big ones are still alive, and those are really just the ones that matter. But still, Ysera being very annoying, very difficult. So with only level 1 Rocket player, some luck involved there. Net is in a sticky situation down towards bottom. He's going to try to juke in the trees, so far hidden. But now he's spotted by Chibix. Chilling Touch goes up, and the 2 supports should be enough to kill off this Lina. Miracle jumping in for 1 Scream. That will be first blood on the bottom lane. Lina just is not really a great off-lane hero, and if you're spotted, you're probably just going to die.
Yeah, I still think it was the right decision. Since Axe had to leave it, Winter is going for that big camp, and he's actually having quite some trouble with it. So the Lina being there, grabbing some experience, I think that wasn't even too bad. At least she's level 3. But of course, feeding first blood, bad idea. And also the consequence out of this is now a fallen tier 1 tower. So nice start there for 5 ever gold-wise for sure.
And because Queen of Pain naturally has that blink to keep her safe, she can just continue in this lane and just keep pushing out. Usually there's the softer agility hero with no mobility, someone like a Juggernaut who is going to be in a little bit more trouble if he gets jumped, can't instantly get out with the blink. So that once this tower drops, he has to fall back and go towards his jungle. Queen of Pain can stick in this lane, continue getting experience, and continue preventing someone from GGuard to sit in this lane. Palosson's even checking things out with the ward, so Net right now in the sweet spot where he's not hidden from the, not seen from the north nor the south, so he will have a small chance to get some experience. But this bottom lane is going to be very, very dangerous. 5 Eva are not going to let up. I would not actually be surprised to see them try to just mass up a creep wave and then go for the tier 2.
By the way, the interesting build now of the Witch Dog. I was curious about this, but we didn't talk about it. Maledict, 2 points over more points in anything else, so just 1 point in Cask, which is quite interesting, because if they get the opening on Ysera and then the Omni Slash comes out, which he just arrived at, he's level 6 right now. The first engagement they just had under the tier 1 tower was unfortunately at level 5 for the Juggernaut, but that would have been a kill with a level 2 Maledict and at least 1-2 bounces on your hero, some right clicks, maybe even follow up with the Blade Fury. That's dead over time, pretty much, for the Clockwork. So I definitely like that adjusted skill build at the moment by the Witch Dog.
And it's very easy to land the Maledict. Like, even though you don't have Juggernaut to set up, you have the cogs, and that's pretty much a giant mark of, hey, Maledict here, and you'll be pretty hard pressed to miss that one. So versus the Clockwork, this is definitely a build, or possibly the build that you want to be going for pretty much every single time on the Witch Doctor. He hasn't really gotten that much done just yet. Clockwork has done a pretty decent job at keeping himself alive. Level 4.5 right now, and he's not doing too terribly, not by any stretch. But he has yet to really make an impact, and he won't make an impact until he grabs level 6. That's still a pretty long ways off. There is quite a bit of stacking going on in the Radiant jungle. This Tinker is going to get quite a bit of cash, but gone for the Soul Ring build, so he's still very, very far away from those travels.
Yep, I was just about to say, look at those stacks here. They're really, really tasty. This is about 1.5k if everything's actually getting cleaned up. So this is definitely nice.
Yeah, So a lot of extra gold there for the Tinker, and of course a lot of extra gold down towards bottom. Miracle is going to get cast bounce plus maledicted in tower range. He's going to fight to the death, but his death is swiftly incoming. Dove for the Lina kill, though very nice. If you die, then you're a level 8 hero dying to a level 5 Witch Doctor. That's a ton of experience for the Witch Doctor.
It was short of a double kill there. Like, he had 1 second or half a second cooldown on the stream. That's why he turned around, wanted to go for the Witch Dog. That might have been worth it. Like, getting the double kill there and then dying for it, okay. But since he didn't get the Witch Dog is super happy because he just got his level 6 for this one.
Yeah, I don't think that's worth it even if you do get the double kill. I mean, you kill off 2 supports, you give up your own life, the safe lane farmer, and you're a Queen of Pain, so your real game time is supposed to be, soon, or if not right now. So you can't afford to make those trades if you're the Queen of Pain, I think.
Yeah, at the moment we have the Ruby crabbing finally some experience in mid since the Tinker is going for all those chems. It's a bad timing to actually go for some other stacks, but he has a bottle with a regeneration rune in, which means he can spam soaring out till he has pretty much no HP whatsoever, and then from there on he can go just completely refresh everything.
Yeah, so he's gonna do that right now. Unfortunately for him, he got mud golems, and no one likes mud golems, especially tankers who are just trying to farm up and make an honest living. But he is now getting a little bit closer to that, to those boosted travels. He's still marching, which is still doing no damage. But you know what? The important thing is that he has a regen rune, and he's not letting that run out. So, well, it just ran out. Down towards bottom lane, Sarah has swapped the lanes right now with Miracle. They were going to put the Queen of Pain back up towards top, who is, pretty naturally resistant to this Juggernaut, because if you get Autumn Slash, you blink away. Same thing with Blade Fury. But still, now for Sarah, he's not out of the woods just yet. Link has the cask. He will throw it. Maledict plus Death Ward. Nothing to cancel right now. Is that lethal, though? It'll be really close if he TPs out. I think he's going to be fine. It's going to hurt. No, he'll be A-okay.
Yep, it's just not enough. Just not high enough. Maledict, 2 points plus that damage is just not enough. 10 was still looking for something, but now he's TPing out himself. That's just too much. Well, in the meantime, top, we might see a go on the Juggernaut, but he has his Omni Slash, so they really gotta be fast. There's no Orchid or anything to actually stop him. So we have to see Miracle. Not really sure if that's a good idea to go and try for this gank, especially now that there are so many supports around in the jungle.
They know still, or more or less, where Winter is. They should know also that Winter hasn't picked up any items recently, so he should be very close to his Blink Dagger, and he is. Yeah, this top lane, Ben's actually going to be the one to take that one up, and they're going to swap Yamate over. The movement right now from both these two teams, just their swapping of the lanes, is pretty darn good. Like, for the Viper, you want to be where the threat is, because he's so tanky with maxed out Corrosive. He can handle the Queen of Pain combo no sweat, whereas for Yamate, he will have a little bit more sweat. So they're going to put the Juggernaut over mid, usually a much more vulnerable position, to get him some farm, and that's the right decision.
Oh, we have a Wit booster coming out now for the Viper, so what is he going for? Usually we see that mech build on a Viper, and he could have afforded at least the first 2 pieces, but he's going for a Wit booster. Is that directly into a heart, or just picking up the booster and then later going for something else?
Yeah, I don't think you go for... I mean, you could go for a Vanguard on Viper. That's not a terrible item, but he's having such an easy time in this game. Like, 59 CS, not the most, but still very, very high, that he could probably afford to go straight for the mech. And for GGuard, the mech is going to be pretty invaluable up against the mid-game oriented build of the 5FSI. But down towards bottom, Winter is going to catch Chibix in the call. Not going to get many spins, but he gets the one that matters, and that will kill off the Ancient Apparition. With a quick call, he will be on his way. Link's still smoked up. I think probably got experience from that one, but it did force a couple heroes to rotate down towards bottom. KS with his travels, very easily done there. And Queen of Pain also, I think, burning a TP scroll. So that was a pretty valuable kill there for GGuard.
Yep, and I'm wondering when 5 ever actually make their move. At the moment they're looking for everything, anywhere, everywhere. They want to find something, but the problem is they're not really getting access to it. Or even Winter just makes the jump on 2 actually, but the question is there more? Now we have a Maledict on it, and all this damage, I'm pretty sure that should be enough. This time, yes, Clockwork definitely going down. If not by Maledict, then just by the raw damage.
That was really weird. The Death Ward auto-targeted the Queen of Pain, who was further away.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what the AI is of Death Ward, but I would assume it attacks the closer target. I guess that's just wrong. Maybe he got fogged or something like that. Either way, they kill off the Clockwork, and that's what matters. Miracle, though, gonna kill off Net in exchange. Blink in, Scream, Sonic Wave, and Lina, she's still level 5, no, level 6. So, yeah, she's not really resistant to that. Very easy kill for Miracle right now, and Well, they're starting to push out all the lanes, as only a team with Tinker can do. Over towards mid, they're looking for a kill on Yamate. Ysera grabs his level 6. Polosan gonna lift up Yamate, but throw him back. A little bit too scared about this Omni Slash, and Juggernaut is farming very happily. Yasha and Mask of Madness and Phase Boots all up.
That's what I'm afraid of, because I think GGuard, they're not rushed at all. They know, guys, the longer this game goes, the better it will be for us. Viper getting super tanky, Winter getting super tanky, they have the initiation on their side, and on the other side there's a lot of magic damage waiting, which means also BKBs on certain heroes will solve a lot of problems. And I don't know, this magic heavy draft by 5EVER, I'm not really sure if that really holds forever, so they need to apply some more pressure right now, otherwise it's becoming too late.
Looks like the pressure is going to come, so ask and you shall receive. Smoke up from Ysera, Polosan, and Miracle. They're on the hunt right now. They will get pretty much no intel, like no stacks are here, so they can't even do anything effectively there. They will see Yamate now, but this Juggernaut is a tough kill, now level 11, so level 2 Omni Slash onto someone like a Rubik can very easily do him in, even if you do not get all the bounces on that one particular hero. That smoke up is going to fail, but they will go for a straight up tower push instead. And it looks like for GGuard, they're a little bit too far away to make any trades of their own. They might want to defend this though. Yamate and Ling right around the corner, and into March, they probably don't want to be fighting that right now. Yamate is already getting messed up by this maxed out skill.
Yep, fighting into the March is never a good idea. Looking at the net worth at the moment, like it's pretty equal on both sides, which surprises me. But then again, we have a 3-3 score, everything is fine, just one tier 1 tower falling down, so there's not a crazy imbalance on any side. But let's see how long they're gonna besiege this tier 1 tower in mid.
Seems like they should stop right now. They have 3 heroes just waiting on the high ground that are doing absolutely nothing. I mean, they have an observer ward, so if they find a target, yeah, they can in theory jump in, but these 3 heroes for 5EVER have done absolutely nothing, whereas for the top lane of GGuard, they've been pushing that one out, they've been farming with the Viper, and now they're looking for a jump on the Miracle Axe. A little bit too far away, and he'll just bail out instead. TP out. Ling over in mid is going to get jumped. Ice Blast is there, making his heal pretty much do nothing, but Ben comes in. Polosan, way too far away from his allies, is going to drop. And that should just about be it. Winter tried to go for the Tinker, I believe, down towards bottom, but fell short there. The tower, unfortunately for GGuard, is not in deny range, so they will probably have to give that one up to 5EVER, but they get a free kill, and it doesn't really cost them anything but TPs.
Well, Yamate tried to go for the Roshan. Roshan actually on half HP, and the Ice Blast stopped that. Now the rocket is flying in there as well, but well, now they're all coming back with, of course, the healing ward as well as the Voodoo Restoration. But there's a new ultimate. Oh, beautiful hook on all of them, and that ultimate. This is really bad news. I mean, the Queen of Fate is going down, but the damage is already done. Lien, they clean up 2 for 2. Can they continue? Do they continue with this Roshan? I don't think it's a good idea.
Man, that was a 3-man cog, of course, with the Sonic Wave, Scream Pain hitting those 3 as well. Witch Doctor, Axe, they don't stand a chance. Juggernaut, luckily for Yamate, can go invulnerable with that Omni Slash, and that Omni Slash absolutely wrecked the Queen of Pain. With initiation like that, you would expect 5EVER to just take those 3 kills and then walk out safe and sound. Viper is the one that GGuard really needed in that area, and Viper was the one who was way too far away, but still it's a 2 for 2, and all things considered for GGuard, if you're stuck in the Roshan pit, if you get initiated upon like that, only having 2 casualties and getting a couple kills of your own, that's pretty darn good.
Yep, definitely. I mean, stopping that Roshan alone and now him healing up, obviously, is definitely a nice thing. They still keep on scouting what's going on here with the Clockwork Rocket, but I think everything considered, it was definitely a nice move, but also a nice move might be that Lena, who has the Laguna Plate now, and they are looking for something. Winter, Blink Dagger on anyone, and then they can just blow it up. It might be Polosan, and it is Polosan. Laguna Plate not even needed, just dunking a pretty low target. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, Rubik is not exactly your most heavily armored target, so he's very easily going to die, and this time GGuard, instead of just sneaking the Roshan, they'll go for Roshan and a tier 1 tower push, so force 5EVER to split their forces. Roshan is still going to be very difficult. March of the Machines making that none too easy, although I guess the March may be helping out a little bit. They will not get the Roshan just yet, and if they do, they'll be spotted by one of the 2 projectiles, if not both, that the 5EVER side can throw in there. But the fact that GGuard are poking in to the Roshan pit, dropping it down a little bit, then leaving without any scratches, is pretty dangerous for 5EVER. If they let up with this vision, if they decide to use their ultimates for anything but scouting purposes, suddenly Yamate has a double life.
Yep, Definitely, that's something you don't want to face. But Poloson at the moment, he's looking for someone top. It's actually Winter, and of course, it's the same old combination we had with Miracle. But I'm not really sure if they can go for this X. Now he's showing there's the lift, and the question is now, do we have enough damage? The Scream didn't hit, and he doesn't have his ultimate till 2 seconds in. There's forward. There's the ultimate. He is dying, but look at the death bolt. He doesn't have an immediate blink. I don't think it's enough damage. However, this is still just a level 2 Maledict.
Yeah, it does do really just depressing damage compared to the maxed out Maledict. Axe as tanky as he is, can't handle that combo, especially when the Queen of Pain does have a very quick Aghanim Scepter. Miracle kind of stealthily built that one up, so he's going to be spamming that one out, and it's going to really put 5 Eva on the aggressive track. Although, I don't really know by how much. KS is going to get Omni Slash in the trees. Courier value right there. Sometimes going to deliver your items, sometimes just going to go ahead and get you some kills. But yeah, Yamate is going to get a free one thanks to his courier.
Yep, that is... Wait, is that Vanguard on Yamate? Sangayasha? No, never mind. So I'm completely confused. I just looked at the wrong item. But yeah, he's just getting his SY right now delivered. That's just perfect. And the Tinker, of course, he's not safe anywhere at the moment. That's pretty much the statement Yamate made right there. In the mid, oh, there's the deny by the Viper coming out. Miracle just short 1 hit. But it's also good that he goes back because Yamate was already looking into rotation of the mid. Roshan is still an option for GGuard, but Yamate, he doesn't dare to go in there.
There's really no need to. As long as you're forcing a Clockwork and sometimes an AA to constantly throw their skills into the Roche Pit, you're going to be farming up everywhere else and you're going to be hidden at the same time. Winter, he's not hidden. He's right around the corner from Poloson, lifted up, battle hungered even. So he's not going anywhere. Although Ysera's hookshot does miss, they should get the kill anyway, and they very easily will. That hookshot even looked like it was going to hit, but they kill off the Axe. Very easily done. Winter can't do much about that. It looks like for GGuard, they don't really get much in trade, so that's a pretty nice pick for 5 Eva if they could translate this into a tower, but that's again where they fall short. They're really good at slow sieging with the March, but they can't actually do the structural damage very easily.
Yeah, I mean, the big Sonic Wave there committed was not quite needed if the hookshot would have hit, but then again he has his Aghanim Scepter at the moment here, Miracle, so he's completely fine with it. 40 seconds cooldown on this big fat ultimate, so there's nothing to complain. If the Ice Blast and the hook and everything whiffs, you can still go for it. 40 seconds, that doesn't hurt at all. So 8-7 at the moment for GGuard, 20 minutes in. I still think that 5 Ever, they don't have the crazy latest game whatsoever, but oh, what did Poloson steal here with the rocket? It's actually enough on the Lina, but he has to pay for it. He's definitely going down. There's the dunk, but I still think for him it's a relatively good trade.
Yeah, for the Rubik he should be pretty happy, but in the grand scheme of things, a support trade is probably not going to result in the hugest swings of gold or experience or really game state. They kill off Yamate here though. Now that's a big kill. Hookshot up on Ysera. KS is going to reveal himself. Yamate now on the retreat. Ysera working blind right now. He's not going to throw the hook shot. Yeah, killing off Lina pretty much doesn't matter, but killing off a Juggernaut, now that's a big kill, because even at that point, 5 Eva can consider going for Roshan themselves. Still, they won't have the most damage, but oh, Yamate's going to find Chibix. He's going to chase him down. No Omni Slash needed, although he's getting juked around a little bit. He's going to get the kill anyway. This guy just does so much damage, and it's a level 8 Ancient Apparition. That really just wasn't fair. Although, AA, he did grab a Hand of Midas before he died, so could be worse.
And that's the downside also of your Queen of Pain, for example, not going for Orchid, because I think he can just jump on that Juggernaut, silence him, and from there you go. It's an easy kill, especially with all the magic damage coming, but the problem is at the moment, they can't really jump the Juggernaut, not even the Clockwork. Like, if you don't do it with the Creep Wave or many other heroes around it, then you would just Omni Slash his way out of there, and this might completely flip back. But at the moment, Yamate, he's going for attempt number 3, 4 on that Roshan, and at the moment it looks like 5 Eva might let it happen. At least, well, Miracle is top with no way of returning except for the tier 1 tower bottom. And yes, he's interrupting that Roshan again.
Yeah, just the danger is a little bit too high. Winter, though, is going to get a call into Miracle up towards top. Not the most creeps here. Miracle's still taking a lot of damage. Sonic Wave through, plus Laser. That is a hell of a lot of pure damage. 240 plus the 450 of damage that you cannot reduce. Tinker's going to stick around, though. KS might pay the price because of it, although he does have a Ghost Scepter right now. Omni Slash is going to be used. It will do pretty much nothing. That's going to turn right in, though, with the Laguna Blade. Dragon Slave, not available, but Yamate will clean up that kill. At least, actually, no, Net will. They will kill off the Tinker very easily, but though the Juggernaut does have a Blink Dagger now to try to deal with this Tinker, the Ghost Scepter is going to keep him safe pretty much every single time, and Net does dodge all the projectiles that's flying into him.
That was very greedy by the Tinker. I mean, Miracle went back because he got all those tower hits. He was really low, so that is understandable. But by the Tinker, I know, was sticking around there for ages. He had to expect that someone is coming and going for a defense on that tier 2 tower, at least getting that kill. And he also knows that he can't really do anything with the Ghost Scepter. Yes, it's cool against Omni, but, well, anyone else there in the vicinity will just stop your TP and rearming. Ling could do it, Lina can do it, that's easy going. Even Winter, okay, Winter was that in that case, but still, very greedy in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's okay for Tinkers occasionally. Like, this isn't really in a game state yet where if Tinker dies, 5 just lose. That will maybe come to that point, but right now if he dies, he can still get a lot of farm because of how fast Tinkers can farm up. And, well, his death probably isn't going to be too bad for him in the grand scheme of things. But for GGuard, it's a lot of farm, a lot of extra gold for this Lina to grab her Yule Scepter. No Force Staff for her, and Yamate cashed in as well. If you're Juggernaut, maybe you consider going for a Diffusal Blade in this game. It's always an okay item on Juggernaut, but if you could get rid of that Ghost Scepter on a Tinker and really Omni Slash him down effectively, then, well, that purchase is going to be so worth it for Yamate to make.
Yep, definitely. And looking at the crafts at the moment, this game is in net worth still an even thing. In experience, however, GGuard definitely has a nice advantage here. They can of course use that in the team fights, just being by a lot of levels higher. But of course, those levels they mostly come come from the Juggernaut. He's level 17. The second highest is Miracle himself there with level 15. But it's pretty crazy how skyrocketing that Juggernaut is at the moment. We have to see, however, in an all-out fight, how useful he is there, if those levels actually help him. The level 3 Omnislash obviously is a good thing.
Yeah, and if he gets shut down by a quick Sheepstick and then Permahex from KS, then Yamate, though he is a pretty sizable threat, won't actually be doing much in those fights. He's going to try again for Roshan yet again. It will be scouted out, so he'll just pull back. Nothing gained, nothing lost there for him. This time, however, the rest of the team, they're going to go for a push, but this is a push into Tinker March. This is a very difficult thing to operate with if you're GGuard. They need to catch him out with the Omni Slash, but even then Ghost Scepter. They're going to catch Palosson instead, and that's a free kill if Yamate can get close enough. With the Blink Dagger, he definitely can if he wants to, and he wants to. That's 3 hits, I think, out of the maxed out Omni Slash. A little bit wasteful from Yamate, but now that the Rubik is dead, GGuard can go for this push, breathe a little bit easier. Tinker's going to teleport in once again, and they'll just keep cutting Creep Wave. Tinker at some point is going to get dove here, and that is going to be really messy, but they hook shot in onto Winter. Cogs are up. He's going to hit with the Ice Blast there. However, Laguna Blade from around the side. Winter turns around with the Calling Blade, gets the kill. And that will be an even 1-1 Miracle in the area, still with BKB and Sonic Wave available. But GGuard, I think they might just back off. I mean, they don't really have that much mana on Yamate. He really wants this tower, but this is really not his tower you want to take. Bling is going to get Sonic Wave, Blink forward, Miracle, and the BKB is going to go for net. Will fall short there. Now he's going to try to run out, but gets maimed. And now he has to get a Blink out. Yamate, though, with a lot of movement speed, can try to give chase. He does have a Blink Dagger as well. That Maledict won't quite kill off the Queen of Pain. Looks like no casualties will be in that secondary fight. Everyone now should fall back. Then we'll TP out. But actually, no. Miracle's still being chased down by Yamate, who slowed down to farm. Juggernaut with Phase Boots, Mask Man, and Sanjin Yashi moving at 522 movement speed, plus a Blink Dagger. You can't escape from that.
It's not just about escaping. This is the same disease I saw on the Tinker earlier. It's called greed. I have no idea what he was thinking, but that Juggernaut was not far away. I guess he expected him to go for Roshan after these fights or something, but instead the Juggernaut was like, okay, you go back to farm mid with like, what, 20% HP or so? I just blink on you and kill you. Easy going. And you saw that you just can't get away from that Juggernaut if he really catches up to you. So that was just greed killing Cure Miracle right there.
And now it's going to be even more difficult to kill off the for you to escape the Juggernaut, because not only is he going to be chasing you down with max movement speed, he's going to be bashing you as well. So he's at 522, you're at 0, and he's doing a hell of a lot of damage. 200 damage a pop very quickly. Again, Roshan is going to be scouted, so still no objective there from GGuard, but really, I don't think it's going to matter too much that they don't get Roshan. It is something that they would obviously rather like to have than not have, especially up against all this pure damage from 5 Eva, but this isn't really a huge deal because Yamate is still happily farming away, and with the item build that he's gone for, like Mask of Madness, Sanjin Yasha, these are items that, though good in late game, can easily be replaced by something else. So his net worth is very high, but can get so much higher.
Yep. I'm also thinking that the Tinker at the moment, he should be a tiny bit more aggressive, in my opinion. What is he going for? We have a point booster, so this is a Soulstone build, I guess. I got him Scepter on a Tinker. I haven't seen that in like 10,000 years. So
what does that do? It does like increases the missiles to like 4 or something like that, and laser has increased range. It's pretty bad if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the Argano Scepter on Tinker is not the craziest thing. For all our team fights, it's pretty cool because you get the additional rocket damage, but that's pretty much it. Oh, Miracle and Jugger, that's of course a bad thing to happen. If he jumps on him with Mask of Madness on, gets some stuns, really bad.
Oh, he's just waiting for Miracle to blink in a retreat, and then Yamate's gonna pounce. But Miracle, will he blink to the north? Will he blink to the west? Will he just keep moving forward and then blink into the trees? Winter's gonna catch him with the call though. Blink, Omnislash is there. Miracle needs to blink, but it's too late. With an Omnislash and a Laguna Blade committed, poor Queen of Pain was on a timer, and that timer ran short very quickly. A minute where she's on the sidelines. Now maybe GGuard can kill off Roshan, although it still does seem unlikely. It's still just a free kill for them. And that's a pretty high profile kill as well.
Yeah, I don't know, this like Tinker alone split pushing as well as Miracle trying it on each and every lane, that's a bad idea. But oh, Chibix, he wanted to just ward, but the problem is, yeah, he just got caught out and tons of overkill here. Maybe he gets his ultimate off. Yes! Well, that's his last will, pretty much.
Mission success. Now you gotta just land 3 consecutive rocket flares and you get a kill maybe. Actually, that's probably not even gonna be enough. Kill's not possible, as they are all just fine right now. Okay, so now they're going to go for Roshan with a 2-kill advantage over towards mid. They're going to catch Palosan on the call. Net's going to close in LSA from long range. That's Rubik down as well. So finally for GGuard, after 30 minutes, they finally get the Roshan. Simply because 5FA don't really have the manpower to crash this party. They could try to hookshot and steal it. But if you do that, you're definitely dying as the clockwork. Probably dying twice, even if you do grab the Aegis. So this is going to be Roshan cleared by GGuard. About freaking time. Sarah is also spotted right now, so Ling is right in his path. So hookshot in, that's going to connect onto the Witch Doctor, and that's going to fail. Sonic Wave through onto Ling, didn't do a lot of damage, and the missile, is this lethal? No, he's going to salve up. He's going to get healed up. He's going to be just fine. Yamate, he's not going to grab the Aegis. It's actually Ben on the Viper. This is actually a little bit
quite
peculiar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting, in my opinion, getting it on the Viper, because Viper so far has never been close to death. It's the Juggernaut I worry about in a team fight going down and then the team fight crumbling. But this was a nice play around this Roshan. Like the Witch Dog blocking the path, the hookshot path for Isera there. He really wanted to go in, but well, it all started with the simple fact that 5FA, they fed away 3 kills, maybe now even more. It's just not how you should play this, because you have a draft that will fall off the longer this game goes, and now we are 30 minutes in, and GGuard is gaining ground, and at some point I'm just not sure how 5FA actually can pull this through. Sure, they have a nice defense if you think about it, but oh, Poloson, you poor guy.
Oh, that was really actually unlucky by Yamate, and very lucky for Ysera that the Omnislash didn't continue bouncing. He was in the trees, so he got fogged a little bit, but that could have very easily been a double kill for Yamate, simply because the clockwork is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Also, sorry guys, I accidentally took some screenshots, because apparently that's hotkey to a button that I don't usually press that I accidentally pressed, so that was the noise that you just heard. But yeah, Rubik going down, Yamate perhaps wasting his Omnislash just because it's a Rubik, it doesn't really matter, but still, he's going to complete up his Abyssal after that. This Juggernaut is freaking dangerous, and if you don't burst him down or get a Sheepstick up, which is currently not up yet for the Tinker, then he will just run amok in these fights.
Well, at the moment we have a very, very interesting build or picture, let's say, like this. Bottom, they are waiting for the Tinker. They are waiting for the Tinker to just come in, but the Tinker knows something is wrong, but no! Oh no, he's TPing in. No, he's interrupting it. Oh god, he knows exactly what's happening. He's actually TPing to the next creep wave, also faking this one. So at the moment, Winter is wasting a lot of time, but maybe they're getting lucky now. Nope.
What is he doing? Is he ever gonna leave his base, or is he just like,
I'm not so sure
here for KS? It's so hard to know that this is happening. It looks like he'll ultimately decide on mid lane. Yes, he will. So Winter and Net getting taunted by the Tinker. I have no idea if KS knows about this.
They're working their way forward through the jungle.
It seems like he does know about this.
Oh god. Like, I wonder how long they're gonna stay here in the trees, but Poloson is also an easy victim, so easy going there. There's the stun, and, well, do we see a Laguna play? The Tinker's actually coming in there, so that's one kill. No, Tinker also interrupting this. Never mind, he actually came in. I'm really surprised because Miracle is there. Do they get 10 here? Both of them try to TP out. One is out, the second one doesn't make it, so in the end, it's a Rubik for Axe. Totally fine with this one.
Yeah, I'm ever going to be happy about that, but GGuard, again, they probably shouldn't care that much. It's at this point, Axe dying isn't really a terribly huge deal. They could have even canceled that Tinker's TP by Dragon Slaving instead of Laguna Blading there for Lina, but hell, they get the Rubik and they lose the Axe. They still keep their Juggernaut alive, who is, by the way, going to run to KS, gets a first hit bash, and then realizes, hey, wait, that's a real Tinker. I'm just going to Omni-Slash him. And with those bashes, he's not even going to get a chance to pop that Ghost Scepter. Another easy kill for Yamate.
To be honest, this is 1 in a million chances you can get, because that was the only scenario he can kill that Tinker. Like, the first hit bash into the Abyssal Plate guaranteed stun, obviously, and then into Omni-Slash and killing him off. That's the only scenario that actually works to kill the Tinker in a one-on-one scenario somewhere in the trees. So he pretty much just won the lottery there, and of course, yeah, Tinker going down.
And at this point, you really need your Tinker to get some really big items for 5-Eva. He needs a Sheep Stick. He needs, like, a Ethereal Blade or something. He needs just more farm in general, and he's not going to be getting that farm every single time Yamate picks him off. So this stalled out game state, it's been like this for pretty much the entire game, and it looks like it will stay like this for the entire game. It's going to wear out the Aegis of GGuard soon enough. Ben is most likely not going to use that one effectively, but I don't really think GGuard care. They're going to clean up the mid-tier 1 tower without much of a hitch, and they lose absolutely nothing in exchange. They're just going to keep on plowing forward. Ben's still with that Aegis, and Yamate, well, he doesn't have that much mana, so they probably should consider backing off right now.
Miracle, being caught out at the rune, short process there. You wanted to just get that rune, but easy call, easy Laguna Blade, and if it wasn't the Laguna Blade, it was the Maledict anyway, killing him right there.
Alright, so Queen of Pain dying again, and GGuard are getting kills upon kills upon kills without too many deaths for them. Aegis is still up for a little while, and it looks like Yamate Ben, without the support of their team, is going to try to go for this push, but there are a lot of machines marching about, plus Ice Blasts that are incoming. Not Aghanimed yet, although it very quickly will be with this Hand of Midas on Ancient Apparition. GGuard, they'll fall back. No hook shot just yet from Ysera. In fact, it's on cooldown, so they cannot chase this one out. GGuard are going to get away with, you know, a little bit of free chip damage on that tower, not putting themselves at too much risk, and then it's back to square one for them.
Well, it's pretty interesting. I thought they have a better defense, but to be honest, right now the Viper just standing there with each and every creep wave, just hitting the tower for about 10 to 15%, then going away and rinse and repeat. This is the way GGuard is eventually gonna break the high ground if 5-Eva isn't doing anything. And well, looking at the score, 21-12. 5-Eva, they're losing ground more and more in a draft that is not made for the very late game. But this pushing forward, it's just not coming. Poloson now, well, he wants to go for that Viper, but can they actually do something against the Viper? They find instead, well, they find the Witch Dog instead, and that should be an easy kill, at least in theory. The Juggernaut having no mana, nothing at the moment, but, well, they don't even need to. They get both of these supports. I don't know, that's not the gank rotation you really want to go for.
Yeah, I was just about to make this point, and I guess that really just confirmed it, that eventually, well, I guess the way that Tinker defends high ground is that he just lays march upon march upon march, and then your entire team can't push that lane. But the GGuard side, they're getting so much farm spread out on other heroes, such as the Witch Doctor, who's closing on his Aghanims. Lina already has hers, that the split push power of GGuard and the threat level that each hero carries individually is eventually going to be enough for them to get away with just split pushing. And you don't expect the Lina split push to really be a threat, but then that's the best way that GGuard have at bypassing this Tinker entirely. They could blindly Omni-Slash him and hope that works, or they could just ignore him in those fights, or go for a kill on Miracle, who's spotted. Net is going to need an LSA, and they will get that one with the first hit bash, or first hit Abyssal there from Yamate. Miracle is going to jump into his doom in the river, and another free kill for GGuard.
It just doesn't work out what 5-Eva planned to do with this draft here. I'm also pretty sure if I look in the stats after this match and the hero damage done by the Tinker, it's it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be very, very low. At this point, I even think the Ancient Apparition has more damage on him if you take March of the Machines out, where Viper is like willingly standing in there. But like rocket and laser damage, he's just not in action. Like all these ganks, they have nothing to TP on. The lanes are either not pushed out. They don't have. I mentioned it in the draft. No Beastmaster or like a Helm of Dominator where you have a creep to get on. Like this Tinker is really just like a huge defense machine, but he's just buying time for an event that will just not occur because it's not getting better over time. So I'm not really sure what 5EVER is gonna plan with this. I'm looking forward to find a solution to this, but me in my limited understanding as a caster, I just don't find a solution to this right now. Miracle is dying right and left, and who else is gonna pull them out of this defensive mode at the moment?
They need, well, first of all, it's Aghanim Scepter on Ancient Apparition. That's up. They also need to not die right now as they go for a jump in on Ling. Ice Blast is going to come in. Cancel out that healing, but Yamate's arrived. He's going to go straight for Ysera. No Omni Slash available. Not needed either. They will clean up the Witch Doctor in the end. KS is going to TP out, but Palossal not going to be as lucky. Of course, Net needed that kill, so he's going to steal it away from Yamate, but that's still a 2-for-1 in favor of GGuard, and they're going to split up their forces once again. Ben towards bottom, Jug towards the Roche Pit. They really don't have much to worry about because this Viper is so freaking tanky right now with the Reaver and BKB and Vanguard. Yeah, 5EVER needs a miracle fight. I think at this point they have to rely on stealing like a broken ultimate, but there's not even many great things to steal.
Look at Ben. He doesn't care. There are rockets flying in his face, but like one of these rockets doesn't even take a tenth away of his HP pool. Okay, Miracle is coming in now, but the slow is completely whiffed. There's the other slow. I got a better one. Miracle, he needs to. Yes, he needs to blink out there. Otherwise, that would have been bad. Light Strike Array, that might have been a kill. So in the end, they're gonna get Roshan, and Viper is just not impressed. Pretty much back to full HP if the rockets weren't flying in.
He'll have his heart coming out soon, so he will be at full HP very quickly. There was also a misclicked sheep stick from Miracle. He messed up his sight there. Sarah's gonna get jumped, get his head cut off. Ice Blast connects onto Winter, but he's not really gonna care. Culling Blade stolen by Rubik is actually not that good. So they get a free kill on the Clockwork. They're still pushing down bottom lane. Ben can now tank the tower with his heart and not really take any damage at all. This is, yeah, looking really bad for 5EVER. If they had a not Queen of Pain hero, if they had a Medusa or that Siren, then they would be in a very, very good position right now, but that's simply not the case.
Yep, the Naga instead of that Tinker, or the Medusa instead of the Tinker. That's something I could have seen. But at the moment, look at Ben. Ben is like, yo guys, I can tank the tower. I mean, he got a Vanguard. I got a Heart of Taras. The tower doesn't, yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, he's healing faster than that. And in the background, we have Winter plus support. Well, the support is going away now, but Winter just protecting him in case someone is jumping. But even then, like, I don't see how they can kill the Viper at this point without committing pretty much everything to her.
Yeah, they have a good amount of pure damage, but not that much pure damage. They need all that pure to land on Viper. They need an Ice Blast to connect on him as well, and even then, I don't really know if that's going to do it, just because BKB will prevent that Ice Blast from really doing its job. So yeah, Ben, at this point, he's tanky. He's near unkillable, if not already unkillable. Now you pick up some threat. He already has some Manta Style, which is an okay threatening item. But if you grab something like an Assault Cuirass or something like that, or a Butterfly, then, man, Ben is going to be a force to be reckoned with. They don't have enough damage to kill him off, yet they need to. And that's a really bad situation to be in if you're 5EVER. Hell, if you're anyone.
Yeah, I would, to be honest, I mean, he has one more slot to go for, but if that one is full, I would even suggest Viper just go for damage, because at the moment, at this point, nothing is really threatening him anyway, HP-wise, so he might as well just go for some more damage unless they really want to build up a double truck version of that Viper. At the moment, they don't even care about all that stuff too much what we are talking about, because they just go systematically tower by tower, Viper tanking it, some protection in the backlines, and that's it. They have everything in their favor. Looking at the crafts, we're looking at the 30... Yes, I didn't say that wrong. 30,000 experience lead. In gold, it's of course not that bad, but we're also looking, yeah, at a 15k heading towards the 20, and I just completely missed that miracle kill.
Yeah, they just got travels on the Juggernaut, so he teleported to bottom lane. The vision of the Dire is insane. Just gave everyone a quick look at that. So the death of the Queen of Pain was inevitable. Up towards top, though, Ysera's chasing after Net, Palossal and Ling dueling it out support style, but actually Net gets up to the high ground. Now here comes the Juggernaut. It's not really necessary because the Clockwork's already dead, and Ling wins the support duel off. because he has an Aghanim's Death Ward. Suddenly, yeah, 5EVA are down all their fighting heroes because Tinker, again, just not really in that fight. Granted, there's not much that he could have done in such a run-and-gun, mobile-heavy fight. Tinker, with no dagging or anything like that, can't contribute anything, so... Yeah. 5EVA get completely mopped up. Also, worth noting, Yamate now has a sheep stick, so he has 2 very nice anti-Tinker tools. If he ever does see the Tinker is just going to die to an Omni Slash. So this is 5EVA ultimately just bleeding out for way too long. 42 minutes, and for the past like 30, they've just been constantly losing heroes, and now Yamate is charging forward, looking for KS. Is not going to find him in the trees, but it doesn't really matter because they'll just go for the tower.
Yeah, at this point it really doesn't matter. Like, the Ice Blast is not gonna make a difference. It's also short with the Aghanim Scepter, but it doesn't even hit too many people. They can just go for this. Those rockets and everything, it won't make too much of an impression. The Tinker is just the most inactive Tinker I've ever seen. But, well, they defend high ground for now, but the question is how long. Each and every time they're coming in here, they're gonna do about, what, 30% to each building, and then it can just go back, rinse and repeat. It's just time what you're buying at the moment, but time without a solution for later. But now, there's the hookshot on the Viper. But sure, Viper being down, oh, it's not really the best thing, because there's Lina coming in. That's 1 kill already. Winter coming in without the dunk, but he just loses his Aegis. That's all that happened right now. It's a 2-for-0 trade, but look at this. Yamate just coming in. 1, 2, easy going. Gem even on the crown. Someone has to pick that one up. Even more of a loss for 5EVA, and I think that's racks, maybe even double racks. Mid is completely free for them to go.
We could even see Yamate doing a little bit less damage than he ordinarily would with that Omni Slash because he has gone for this Scythe of Vice, but it doesn't matter because he forces out the Queen of Pain, he kills off the AA, and at this point, AA, probably one of 5EVA's most threatening heroes right now. I would say it's probably like Queen of Pain, AA, then Tinker in that order, so yeah, killing him off, not having to worry about shattering from the Ice Blast is going to let Ben sit a little bit more pretty on the front lines. He's taking some damage. He dropped down to like 1/3 of his HP, but 1/3 of Viper's HP is still like 1,000 HP with an amazing amount of resistance on top of that, so he himself will also grab a Sheep Stick because Sheep Stick's a good item, guys. He'll clean out 1.5 sets of Raxes and then fall back, 0 casualties. Roshan, not available just yet, but man, they're in such firm control of this game that they could just wait for 5EVA to slip up again, or wait for Yamate just to charge in. He's going to find Ysera. He's going to get sheeped up as well. Yamate's taking a lot of damage. Ice Blast will be lethal. They killed off the Juggernaut finally, but will that be enough? Miracle's taking quite the hits from Ben. Will actually fail the call, and that Queen of Pain will survive. Ysera also getting up to the high ground, will live as well. Everyone on 5EVA is going to walk away, but Yamate's back. So they burned everything they had to kill off the Juggernaut. Suddenly, they didn't even kill off the Juggernaut because he just buys out. So they could look to finish this game. This is what GGuard want to do right now. With the Omni Slash up in 15, Ysera's going to put up some cogs. He's going to get called, however, Yamate not going to make the jump in. It's going to be Winter to take the brunt of it. He has a BKB, although it's not available. Miracle is going to get hit with that sheep, and then the Death Ward has no blink out, and he's going to die. Then they're going to dive forward for Chibix. KS is still just doing nothing except for marching, and that's not doing anything right now. They call GG, and it's a slow and painful death to 5EVA, but it is a win for GGuard in the end.
Yeah, I mean, we said it already in the draft. They had a half-life pretty much on their draft, and that half-life ended, I think, at about 30 minutes. From there on, it was pretty much a safe game for GGuard the longer it goes, and I was really looking forward to an active Tinker sapping around with the Dagon, but it didn't really come out. That combination plus Miracle on the co-op, I think that might have been interesting, picking up a lot of kills and then transitioning into push. It never happened, and that's why, yeah, the defense was long, but it was inevitable what's coming out. GGuard takes the first out of potentially 3 games. So guys, GGuard, they keep their $500 for now, but of course, 5EVA, they have a chance to come back in game number 2.
Yeah, we'll be right back with that game, guys. So don't go anywhere. Game 2 in the best of 3 will be up very shortly.